That's the thing. You need to be called to be queen. Keep your eye on the prize, Jenny Humphrey. You can't make people love you, but you can make them fear you.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Janelle. Today I'm a unicorn. This might be my last costume for this year. Might be. No promises. The limit does not exist. Today I want to teach you guys how you can become the queen bee. We're going to talk about manifestation, of course, but we're also going to talk about psychology and also some of my own life experiences and observations. Before we get into it, check out my merch if you haven't already. You can also follow me on all of my social media accounts. Of course, you should also join our Facebook group where we do live Q&A sessions and we help each other out, we motivate each other, and we also do challenges. If you would like to have some personal coaching to manifest anything you want in life, come DM me on Instagram and we can discuss it there. Now, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Pop quiz, just in order to begin this video. Do you guys think that it's easier to go from being liked to loved? Or do you think that it's easier to go from being hated to loved? I'm going to give you guys time to think about it. Is it easier to go from being liked to being loved? Or is it easier to go from being hated to being loved? It's easier to go from being hated to being loved. Hate and love are very closely related to each other because in both cases, whether you love someone or you hate someone, they have a big importance on your life. If you just kind of mildly like someone or mildly dislike someone, they don't have a huge importance on your life. And I can actually think of a point in my life where I observed this firsthand. So when I was still in high school, I'm not going to specify like what grade or whatever because I don't want the girls that I'm talking about to know that I'm talking about them, but at some point there was a girl in my friend group who it's funny because everyone hated her, but that was how she got everyone to love her in the end. So that's kind of the whole point of the story. But basically, she decided that she wanted to leave our friend group for another friend group, okay? And it was because she wanted to date a certain guy, and so she knew that, like, in that other friend group that she wanted to join, there were some girls in that friend group who were dating guys who were in the same friend group as the guy she wanted to date. So in her head, in her mind, she was really good at cause and effect. Like, she understood cause and effect. Like, she understood, like, if I do this, that will happen. Like, some people are just better at that than others. And I'm not even going to say that she's smart because I don't want to give her that credit. That's another thing I want to bring up, is that you don't even have to be smart to do this. It's all strategy, okay? And some people do it naturally, but we can also learn how to do it manually. But basically, she switched from our friend group to that other girlfriend group so that she could go to the same parties as the guy she wanted to date. She also knew that she couldn't just join that friend group like that. They were going to be like, what the hell? Like, what? I don't know about the school that you guys went to, but at the school that I went to, it's like, you couldn't just like wake up one day and like sit with a completely different friend group at the cafeteria. They would be like, what are you doing at our table? Like, it just didn't work like that, okay? Like, even if you were friends with them outside of school, if you didn't sit with them at school every day, you couldn't just like sit with them one day, even if you were friends with them too outside of school. Do you know, does that make sense? It just didn't work that way. So what she did is that she invented that we were bullying her, which was not true. I mean, there was this other girl in our friend group who kind of was snarky with her, but they were snarky with each other. They were equally snarky with each other, okay? It wasn't bullying, okay? But she passed it off as they're bullying me so that they would be like, oh yeah, you can come with us, okay? Because if she was just kind of like, can I sit with you guys? Maybe they would have said no, you know? But that's not all she did. That was one thing she did, but then we still, even though she infiltrated that new friend group, she still played on the same soccer team as us. We were all like on the high school soccer team together. And this girl who was still in my friend group, who was used to be snarky with her, the girl that left, she kept being snarky with her at soccer. She couldn't control her her emotions. Both were, you know, girls who had a lot of anger inside of them. The difference was that the girl who infiltrated that new friend group successfully knew how to control it and use strategy, whereas that other girl who stayed in the same friend group as me, she did not know how to control her anger. She didn't understand like social dynamics. She didn't have a strategy. She was angry at someone, she would lash out right away. So at soccer, she kept making snarky comments at the girl who had left our friend group, and the girl who had left our friend group yelled, I'm not gonna say her real name, but she went, Melanie, can you not do this here? Can you not do this here? We're a soccer team. We're here to play soccer. And I was embarrassed to be friends with the girl who was getting yelled at, because the girl who was yelling, which was the girl who had left our friend group, was the politically correct one. And she acted like a leader. This is our soccer team. We're trying to play soccer. And everyone was like, yeah, like everybody wanted to take her side, not the other girl's side, because she succeeded at making that girl look like a bully. And not just like a bully, but like someone who was taking down the whole team with her and her negative energy. Now, the girl who had left our friend group, who yelled, Melanie, can you not do this here? She was the bigger bitch. She was the toxic one. But she knew how to put on the cloak of a leader. She knew how to put on the cloak of, you know, the innocent girl that's getting bullied. She knew how to play a role. And if you girls want to become the queen bee of your social circle or of your school, you need to know how to play roles. And you also need to know how to control your emotions. That's the psychology of it. Now, for the manifestation aspect of it, you can launch affirmations such as, people always take my side. People always take my side. I have a friend, Marilee. Hi. She watches all my videos. It's funny because I actually brought that up to her. I was like, whenever you're like in a fight with someone, or whenever you're like in a conflict with someone, everyone takes your side. And she was like, oh my god, that's so true. Why do people take my side? And we came up with different theories as to why people always take her side. Well, first of all, she has a bunch of followers on Instagram. She has the most notoriety in the city that we're from in terms of like Instagram influencers. Like she's the only one around here. And so, you know, that tends to make people want to gravitate towards her and take her side because she has that notoriety. We also came up with the other theory that she was spoiled by her parents growing up, so she has this expectation and this assumption about herself that people are going to take her side, and that essentially she's never going to be the one in the wrong. That's powerful. It's narcissistic, but it's powerful. And I'm also going to make another video, probably tomorrow, on traits that we should actually adopt from a narcissist, because it's not all bad. So yes, that's one affirmation that you guys can do. People always take my side. Another one that you can do is, I am so spoiled. I am so spoiled. Go watch my video on how to manifest dating a rich man if you haven't already. But I am so spoiled doesn't even only have to apply to like, you know, like money or like from men. Like I am so, or from your parents. It can be in general, like people are generous to you in general. People do things for you, you know? Another good affirmation for this would be, I'm a leader. I'm a leader. You don't need to be evil or Machiavellian. Maybe you're genuinely a good person. Maybe you're just a leader. That works too. But, you know, it's Halloween week on my YouTube channel, so I do want to talk about evil stuff, but at the end of the day, you can make this as evil as you want to. It's up to you. Another good affirmation would be, I make the decisions that are best for me. I make the decisions that are best for me. Why? Because when I look back on when I was in high school, and I'm talking about high school a lot because high school is a point in time in life where social dynamics and social hierarchies are very obvious. So it's just easier to use examples from, you know, when I was in high school. I remember I was always drawn by people, especially by girls, who appeared to be the underdog or the person who needed saving. So I was naturally drawn to girls who were depressed and anxious and shy and kind of like social rejects. And I remember my mom would get so angry, especially since she was a teacher at the school I went to, so she saw it with her from her own eyes. But she was like, Janelle, do you not realize that by befriending those girls and seeing the good in those girls and wanting to be there for those girls and being scared to cut them out of your life because you think that they'll have no friends if you ditch them, they're bringing you down with them? Like, do you not realize that the more you hang out with that girl, the less you get invited to parties? That's not a coincidence. People are starting to associate you with those girls. So stop. I've always had a savior complex. I'm still working to this day. I have a bit of a savior complex. If I could change one thing about how I went about my social life when I was in high school, I would have been a lot more selfish and a lot more selective with the people I chose to be friends with. And that's what you need to do if you want to become the queen bee. Do you think Blair Waldorf would talk to just anyone? Do you think Blair Waldorf would just befriend anyone? No, she wouldn't. Because she understands power, right? What do you want at the end of the day? Do you want to be the savior who befriends all the people that nobody else wants to be friends with? There is this phenomenon in social psychology where if Kevin doesn't like Sebastian, Kevin could start off liking you or feeling neutral about you, but if Kevin sees you with Sebastian, he's not gonna like you anymore. And it's not just, I know that I use boys' names, they're just the first names that popped up into my mind, but even in a platonic setting, even with like people that like acquaintances, people who are like straight up strangers that don't know you, if they see you hang out or just even just talk with someone that they don't like, they start to dislike you too. So be extremely careful with who you hang out with. Some affirmation that you guys could use to manifest being the queen bee is that you could affirm, I am selective with my friends. I am selective with my friends. Now you guys might say, Janelle, why do you have to affirm that? Just be selective with your friends. Well, it's not that simple. I used to struggle with being selective with my friends a lot. I felt guilty. I felt bad. So to repeat that affirmation to myself would have, that would have became my new self-concept. And then it would have been easier to take action and cut off the people that I needed to cut off. I also want to touch a little bit on how to maintain power in dating, like with guys and stuff. Because a lot of you are trying to manifest specific persons right now. Most of you, I think, most of you who are following my YouTube channel, it's because you want to manifest a specific person. It's because you want to manifest the guy that you want or the girl that you want, whatever. I remember one of my friends in high school who she had endless amounts of self-belief. I don't want to dive too deep into her psychology or else this video will never end, but so I was dating this guy whom she used to date. She dated him in middle school briefly. He was like my full-on boyfriend in high school. And, I didn't think that she still liked him. And honestly, she didn't. To this day, I don't think she did. But her ego got hurt anyway, right? That he pulled through and treated me really well when he did not do that for her, right? She wasn't mad at me, but she was mad at him. So you guys know how when a guy breaks our heart, we tend to be the ones who want to take the action. Like, we're like, oh, how can I fix this? Like, how can I get him to like me again? Or how can I get him to regret? And should I send him a huge paragraph? Should I buy him his favorite chocolate and pull up to his parents' house with the bag of chocolates? Yes, I have a friend who did that. With his favorite chocolate so that he forgives me and realizes that I'm wifey material or whatnot. No. What you're gonna do is you're gonna behave the way that my friend did, okay? When she wanted him to regret treating her like shit. When he would try to wave at her, say hi, because guys cannot live with the feeling of guilt. They hate it. They hate it. So if you guys want to get a guy back or get a guy to feel bad for wronging you, you need to make him feel bad. But the way that you're gonna make him feel bad is that you're literally going to act like, who are you? I'm never talking to you again. You don't say that. It needs to be in your demeanor, right? So whenever my boyfriend would like wave at her, or because it was awkward that she like hated him because he was literally my boyfriend and she was my best friend, okay? Yes, I know, but that's not the point of today's video, so let's not get into that. But whenever he would wave at her or like try to like start a conversation with her, she would just look at him and walk away without saying anything. That drove him insane. At some point he was like, Janelle, can I like buy her flowers? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, can I was like, go for it. I just wanted them to get along. It was my boyfriend and my best friend, for Christ's sakes. Wasn't high school just thrilling? I don't miss it at all. I enjoyed university like 10,000 times more. In order to have power, making people feel guilty for how they treated you is extremely powerful, because it's going to make them suck your ass. And I want you guys to take advantage of that and try to elongate the period of time where you make them feel guilty for what they did to you, so they keep sucking your ass for as long as possible. Milk it for as long as possible. Some affirmations that are popping up in my mind right now for affirmations that you guys could do to manifest, you know, people respecting you. Pretty straightforward. People respect me. The men in my life respect me. I'm looking love. I used to have an affirmation that I didn't even call an affirmation. I wasn't even into manifesting at the time, but I had this belief about myself. And I had this reoccurring thought in my mind that every guy who leaves my life comes back one day or another. Guys always come back. Guys always come back. And with what I know now about the law of assumption, I've been trying to stop thinking that, because I realized that that implies that they leave to begin with. I don't want to manifest guys leaving and then coming back. I'm tired of roller coaster rides. I want to manifest that the people in my life are in for the long haul. See, that's another affirmation right there. The people in my life are in for the long haul. The people in my life are in for the long haul. I think that that's enough for today. I feel like I've equipped you guys with sufficient psychology facts and also affirmations that you can do to manifest more power and ascending in any social hierarchy of your choice, for you guys to be good for a little while until I bring up this topic again one day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Share with anyone you think would enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click the notification bell so that you never miss an update. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.